card tasters, welcome, welcome, welcome everybody. My name is April and my spirits and I together, we are called Astré Astoundance. I went ahead and shuffled and I put together these 3 sets that you see here before you, asking your angels, your guides, and your ancestors, hey, what do you have to say for those that are watching today? Now, this is the collective energy report from Monday to Monday. So that is 7/28 to 8/4. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Leo season so far. We got a lot of planets in retrograde. We got a lot going on. We also had that new moon in Leo, so I hope everyone's doing well, but there's a lot of new beginnings here happening. So let's just see what's going on here with the collective energies. Your job is to please choose at least one or more. If you feel divinely guided to do so, that's okay too. One or more out of these 3 sets, but this is based on your own intuition. All right, everybody. And here we go. All right, dolls, as you all know, I work from left to right. So for those of you that chose pair number 1, which is this set right here, let's go ahead and turn over the first card of this set and see what your guides, angels, and ancestors have to say. And the first card of this pair number 1 is confusion. So there's something going on in your life that's creating a little bit of a fogged in kind of feeling. The question is what? And remember, this is a general reading, so don't overthink it, don't underthink it, just meet the message halfway. It doesn't click or resonate. It may click or resonate to someone close to you, but whatever is going on here, there isn't a lot of clarity, right? And sometimes when we are in the midst of some kind of confusion, we have to be willing to move through it as we go through faith, right? Faith over fear. So what's interesting about this illustration is she's like climbing this mountain, or she's going up this mountain. It doesn't really show that in the illustration very clearly, but in the story behind this card, it talks about how this woman is climbing this mountain called faith, right? And the story goes that she is like kind of wondering if she made the right decision by leaving her boyfriend. And as you see in the midst, there is another man waiting for her in the wings, but she can't see it yet, okay? She can't see it yet. So, and there always is. So for those of you that wonder, like, did I make the right decision about letting this go? Now, it may not necessarily be about love. It may be something that you did love, okay? Like a friendship, a situation, a circumstance, a job that you loved, you know? And it just feels like, oh my God, did I do this right? Like, am I okay? And so in the midst of this cloud or confusion this week, there is going to be some clarity, but you can't get the clarity without a little bit of this dense energy and confusion. And I feel to kick off the week, this collective energy is pretty much saying this. Your guides, angels, and ancestors are saying, hey, there's some kind of bright light on the horizon, but you have to be patient here, okay? Notice also in this illustration, she's like got her arms crossed. So there's a lot of frustration here. You know what I mean? Like there is this need to really, control the outcome. So this is about kind of moving through these energies that you're in this week. You can learn a lot by letting go, okay? And not having always this control over your desired outcome. Just know that it is on its way. See, just like there's always a man waiting for you, no matter what decision that you make, if you let someone go, there's always another person, soulmate that's going to come through, that's going to arrive, just like opportunities come through. So if you close a door on something, there's other opportunities for whatever it is that you're looking for, whether it's love, it's personal, professional. It doesn't mean that everything is shut down and closed off. So you're going to have to get through it. It's not the funnest, but we got to move through that faith energy, because on the other side of faith is what we truly want. And there's a lot more clarity. So blessings do come through confusion, because Spirit is saying, hey, this individual needs to be a little patient. And we understand that they're frustrated, but just know that there is some other opportunity waiting in the wings. And it's heaven sent for sure, whether it's a man, a new job opportunity, new friendship, an opportunity to find, that home that you're looking for, or you're trying to figure out like where you're supposed to go in terms of like, let's just say you want to move, but you don't know where, you know what I mean? All this dense energy and confusion, you're going to get the clarity you need by the end of the week. Okay. So just hang in there, guys. The message that really stands out here, a lot what Spirit's saying, is that behind every cloud, there's a silver lining, meaning there's always a wonderful outcome, in the midst of it all. So despite this woman's confusion, she still continues her climb to the summit. But the story goes, once she gets to the top, the fog clears and all of a sudden it's revealing a town far below that's actually going to help her along her journey to meet her future love, right? The one love that she thought would never come, the one love that she thought would never happen because she let this other person go. So my point to this is, and what Spirit and the guides, angels, and ancestors are really trying to say is, like, there's always a silver lining, you guys. So it's not going to feel like it this week. But we got a lot of planets in retrograde. We got a lot going on here, and we are being tested quite a bit. Our shadow self is coming out. We're working through a lot of generational stuff, really trying to heal the bloodlines, and it's not easy. It's not easy. I presume a lot of people that are watching are the healers and their family. They are the ones that are going to turn a new leaf, so to speak. They are changing the lineage in their family. So congratulations on growth is all I'm saying. Okay, detailed message from Spirit is, and we got the message of alignment. So once we get through the haze, once we get through some things here, we are going to have the silver lining, and the silver lining has a lot to do with alignment, okay? Which means that we had to sit in this. We had to pause in this. It's teaching us many things like patience, but it's also teaching us the power of your faith. How important it is to always understand that no matter what is going on in your life, always choose faith over fear. That everything is happening all for your highest good. Pay attention to number 11, okay? Maybe there's some events coming up here in 11 weeks, 11 days. I'm just saying, I know this is a collective energy report for this week, but I always like to think ahead a little bit. Because of the wonderful number 11, maybe some events leading to November, or let's go backwards, 11 days, 11 weeks, or going back to 2024 November. Think about what was going on around that time, okay? So a lot being discussed here, a lot happening, or 1 and 1 is 2, meaning maybe this is about 2 people. 2 people are involved here. Just something else to think about. But 11 is also a very magical number too, right? It just means that the divine are very active. So watch your thoughts during this time, because what you're thinking is what you're bringing to yourself. So when the 11 always shows up, it's a strong indication that your thoughts are magic. So try to remain in a positive mindset always, even in the midst of frustration and confusion and what the F is going on kind of vibe. Like, just be like, send me a sign that I'm going to get through this, and they'll send you a sign. I'm telling you. Spirit is also talking about being in the stillness, being in the quiet. When in doubt, be quiet, right? Just take it easy this week. Meditate. Remember, without the heart, the head means nothing. So if you're kind of running away with your thoughts because you're just like trying to control everything, and you want the outcome to be this one thing, sometimes we get in our own way if we're not in the present moment. So we have to be very, very careful with that, especially with the influence of this number 11. Now, another way of looking at this number 11 is this. We have a full moon in Aquarius on the 9th. So think about events leading to that full moon in Aquarius, right? As we look ahead, okay? There could be something that is revealed. There could be something about liberation or taking a risk, or, kind of opening yourself up to something different. I know Uranus is in Gemini right now. And so Uranus is very one-on-one, works very closely with Aquarius energies. So just something else to think about. So there must be something that you're going to do. I feel that it's going to be a little different than what you would normally do in your routine, especially with that influence. So this is another way of looking at this, because here's the thing. If you keep sitting and staying in the same place, right, it's a great thing as you process your thoughts, but never lose sight of center. Center is the heart, right? So we never run away so far away from ourselves that we forget why we're here, right? So that's definitely like a good, always check the temperature of your heart and be like, okay, am I making this decision, or am I thinking these things because it's genuine, it's coming from the heart, or is it coming from fear? So that's why this card is all about the story, is about that mountain of faith. So right now you guys are really moving through faith, and Spirit is pushing you to do so. Just saying, hey, we've been here all along. We know exactly what you want. And there is an opportunity waiting for you in the wings, but you're just going to have to sit this one out and just be quiet and connect and curl up closer to the Creator, or with us, with your ancestors, because they're trying to get you aligned, but timing is important. So especially when alignment is involved, but they're saying in the meantime, watch your thoughts. It's preparing you something for this full moon in Aquarius. That's the feeling I'm getting. I also feel like there's some themes and stuff going backwards again, like maybe 11 weeks. Also maybe going back to November of 2024, like I was saying. I like to look at themes going backwards, because a lot of times, how can we even, know why we're here if we don't have a past? So some of the events that are happening now are stemmed from those seeds that have been planted in the past of fears, thoughts, decisions, things like that. But I feel like there might be something going on in your life where there might be a decision that is regretted, or you're thinking, God, am I a fool here? Like, did I do the right thing? And remember, this is a general reading, people, places, and things, whatever this is regarding, okay? There's an opportunity for you in the wings, waiting in the wings, that is heaven sent, right? But you simply just cannot see it out of this frustrated, like kind of confused state this week. But that's the very reason why God and the angels and ancestors are calling you closer to them, because they're showing up in support for you, okay? So you're being hugged by heaven, right? And the desired outcome is on its way. You just simply can't see it yet. But focus on your blessings and be in gratitude this week, all right? And just be patient, because help is on the way. And that's what I got for those of you that chose pair number 1. All right, dolls. And for those of you that chose pair number 2, which is this set right here, let's go ahead and turn over the first card of pair number 2 and see what your guides, angels, and ancestors have to say. And the message is facade. So you are not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So I'm not sure what's going on. I feel like there's like this false sense of duty per se. Like, in other words, this isn't who I am. So be careful of you in relationships or circumstances or situations where you truly feel like you are kind of just doing these things because you feel obligated, not because you truly want to do it, and you are ignoring your inner child. So there's a sense of just like, no, this is my duty, this is what I have to do, but it's not because you want to do them. So there's this facade, there's this like feeling of like, well, it is what it is, but it's not coming from like this joyful place. So this is about like checking the temperature in your relationship, guys. Like, I don't know what's going on in your relationships, from personal to professional. I'm even including business relationships, your current personal relationships, even friendships, your community, like social media platforms and things like that. Like, what is going on? Like, is it coming from a good place? Like, are you just doing things just because you're doing things for doing sake, and this is also, we just had this new moon in Leo too. So many of you are checking in with the temperature of your self-worth, because it was coming in at 2 degrees. 2 degrees is a Taurus degree, and it just recently passed, okay, as I'm filming this. And so it's just something to think about, like, check in with your self-worth. Like, do you need to raise your prices with the company that you're your own company, or do you need to ask for that promotion or raise? And if you simply just can't do it, then it's like, are you really feeling like this is resonating where you are right now? Okay. So be careful of just doing things out of obligation, or doing things because you're just like thinking, well, this is the way it has to be, and I have to bleed for my money, I have to sweat for my money. In other words, you're in that frequency of like, just it's all the suffering is how you get paid, or how you get the reward. So be careful with that. Be careful with that. Now think about where you are in your life in terms of where things are not quite happy, right? Where you feel joyless, okay? Of course, again, this is a general reading, so don't overthink it, don't underthink it. Just meet the message halfway with spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. But they're really trying to emphasize some place in your life where you've just been overextending, overdoing, just for the sake of just doing it, right? Think about where you are professionally in your life, work-wise, in your relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, there could be something going on where you're like, yeah, I guess I'm just going to go along with this, but it's not quite what my soul feels I should do, because there's this part of me that wants to do my own thing, wants to play. And this is all about inner child healing too. So be careful of like disassociating yourself So much so that you've kind of like lost your touch with life, meaning you're surviving, not quite thriving, you know, in some place in your life, right? You've lost sight of the meaning of joy. And so we just, again, I know I keep bringing up Leo season and the Leo new moon that just passed. It's like it brings up your joy and your inner child. It brings up play. It brings up like maybe you need to plan a vacation. Maybe you need to kind of like check in with yourself and going like, am I just doing this just to do it? Or am I like really into this? Like this, does this feel right? So let's take a look at the detailed message and let's see what Spirit has to say about this, because there's a little more to this and you're feeling very alone with something. Okay. Very alone with something. Sorry, I bumped this over here. And so you're kind of like, just feeling like you're just out there just doing everything by yourself. Maybe it has something to do with work. We get a number 15 here. So let's think about this for a minute. 1 in 5 is 6. 6 means home, domestic situations, and family. It also means monetary things like finance, stuff like that, okay? So think about that as I add 1 and 5 together. This is another way of looking at the numbers. Now, we can look back on what was going on in June. June is a 6 month, right? So in June, we have Cancer season, and then we also have Gemini season. So think about maybe somebody that's watching is a Gemini, maybe somebody that's watching is a Cancer. I'm just saying, okay? Or go back 6 days, 6 weeks, 6 months. Again, another way of looking at the 1 and 5 together. Or maybe simply something is coming up on the 15th of August, or pay attention to what was going on on the 15th of July. Okay? These are just ways to look at this. Again, I leave a nice open palette for you guys that are watching, and you can kind of make of it what you feel. Because remember, this is all about your guys' intuition. But Spirit is really trying to reach you in some way and saying, hey, where are you not being honest with yourself about something? And there's this type of facade, right? Where you hear your inner spirit saying, hey, this isn't who I am. This doesn't feel authentic. And if you think about Leo energy, Leo's asking us to really show up to be seen and heard for all that we are, including all our authenticity, including in our work and our purpose, right? There's no more hiding here. So pay attention to where this could lead to childhood wounds, your inner child healing, where you felt like you had to do something to please mom or get her approval, or you had felt like you had to do something to please dad to get his approval, because all we want in this world is to be chosen, right? So be careful of falling into these traps and relationships where, you know, you have this false sense of duty in how you relate to others, because it doesn't have to be that way anymore. So Spirit is calling you out in some place in your life. And this is why you could be feeling alone or you're not quite sure how to process it. So Spirit's here to kind of call it out and say, hey, let's pay attention to this, because we do need to heal this piece, because this is going to allow you to make some different decisions going forward, or allow you to have some more awareness of it, so we don't step into these situations, circumstances, people, places, and things ever again, okay? Because this is a 9-year, and 9-year wraps everything up. There's a lot of closure, a lot of endings this year before we reach that 10, which is going to be 2026 year. Spirit says how you feel when you're truly alone is how you truly feel. When you lay your head on the pillow at night and you're in your head and in your heart and you're thinking to yourself, okay, is this what I really want? Is this like who I truly am? More than likely, if you chose pair number 2, no. There's something that's not quite right. Something is misaligned here, and you feel alone because it's not who you are, okay? So go back to your childhood. I bring back the childhood a lot, because this particular story in this card talks about your inner child and some healing here, okay? But as a kid, when you get the message that you're not good enough, or you're not chosen, right? Or you're not approved by mom or dad, right? You'll do everything in your power growing up to be approved, to win the crowd. And so let's just say you're working at a job and, you know, you're working like 60, 70 hours a week or something, just killing it out there, doing really, really great. Everyone's patting you on the back and you're getting the money, but you're not getting the overall well-being that you know that you need. Like your health is falling apart, or your emotional well-being, you're feeling just wrecked, you know, and you don't have the capacity to take care of yourself. That's not good. So although you got the plot and the money, but you're not really taking care of yourself. Okay, so this is important here. And that starts with your inner child. Okay, also if you're in a relationship and you're feeling like it's absolutely draining you and you're like, gosh, I didn't think that my relationship would turn out like this. I feel like I'm doing everything. I feel like I'm the mom, I'm doing the dishes, I'm doing the laundry, I'm working, I'm taking care of the kids, I'm running here. But then you look at your partner and you're thinking, well, where is his position in this? And I'm giving 110 and he's giving 60 or something like that. So there's so many different ways of looking at this combination. Again, this is a general reading. So please, if this does not click or resonate, may click or resonate to someone close to you. But either way, feeling alone. And so when we feel alone, it's because we are not being true to ourselves. Again, pay attention to number 15. Think about too, this full moon coming up in Aquarius, coming up on August 9th. Maybe there's some events and themes leading from this week's energy to the 15th or to the 9th of that full moon. And it kind of tapers off around that time. Just something else to think about. But I believe with Aquarius energy, we're looking for ways to liberate ourselves, and we might have to step outside our comfort zone or the things that we're used to. And sometimes your comfort zones, my friend, become the very thing that makes you uncomfortable, where you have to have the courage to grow, right? I cannot keep doing this to myself anymore. This isn't who I am. The facade. This job isn't who I am. This relationship isn't who I am. This community isn't who I am. This friendship isn't who I am, right? This city, town, country isn't who I am. Wherever you are in your life, something isn't honest, okay? So lean into that energy, because all this Leo energy and that Leo moon, new moon that just passed, is asking us to show up for ourselves and be seen and heard and known for all our authenticity. And also your inner voice, talk about how you're feeling, right? The people around you don't know what's going on because they're so used to you doing the same old thing. So until you speak up, the pattern continues, okay? But this is what I got for those of you that chose pair number 2. All right, dolls, and for those of you that chose pair number 3, which is this set right here, let's go ahead and turn over the first card of pair number 3 of this set and see what your guides, angels, and ancestors have to say. And the message is destiny. This is a pretty powerful card, okay? This is about like where in many lifetimes you gave it your best shot and you didn't win something, but in this case, you actually win. Okay, remember a time looking back that you can recall that you fought for something and you absolutely believed in it, right? And you actually won. So this is actually a very lucky card to receive. So this is something about a revision from many lifetimes, and due to the karma, due to spirit guides saying, hey, these are the spirit guides. These two are coming here going, can I have a different outcome? Right? Is this going to go a different way? But it's already destined. It's already fated. So it's already been written. Okay. So this is about something that you have been waiting for that is on its way. That's already kind of manifested in many ways. It's either coming this week or you're getting closer to that. And it feels like you got company. So either you have a partner here that's joining you with something that you've been aiming for, someone that's going to help you, because this is about destiny in terms of togetherness or not doing this alone. Like there's like success for everybody involved in terms of something that you're aiming for. But the question is what? Of course, this is a general reading. Don't overthink it. Don't underthink it. Just meet the message halfway. And so be it. What's really great about this card is like, imagine seeing yourself before the council of God or before your ancestors or before your guides or your angels, and you're actually putting the request out there. But what's really interesting about this is already written. It's just a matter of like remembering what you came here for. And sometimes that's not always like, we're not always consciously aware of it. We know we're being led, but we don't know why, right? So there's something that's going on in your life where you're asking for something or you feel divinely led to something, and so it is part of your destiny. That's why you're feeling led, but maybe you're not quite sure why you're feeling led, but you're putting this request out there as if you're manifesting this, and before the seat of God here, and you're going, hey, I really want this one thing. And think about the things going on in your life that you've been praying about, you've been requesting about, you've been thinking about, you've been asking for. And this is all for your highest good, okay? You're making a request here, and your request will be granted. Hands down. When this card shows up and you have the Destiny card, hands down. But you're not alone in this. Like, there could be someone that's with you, someone that's joining the ride. This could be a partner, it could be a friendship, could it be a business connection, it could be a family member, this could be even your child. So many different ways of looking at this when we see two people here, and they're both looking at each other like they're on the same page, and they're like, hey, we're in this together, because together you are stronger rather than doing something alone, because it feels like it takes two for this personal request. Could even be requesting a baby or a conception or a child. Like, this is really unique in this approach of what you're trying to aim for, but it's miraculous. And again, it's already been contracted in. It's just a matter of you just sending that message out. And I believe you already have, but it's getting stronger. Spirit talks about this is about daring to have the life that you decide that you want to have. But it's already been decided. It's already destined. So this is about taking a stand. This is about taking a risk even, but it's a destined risk. It's like, it feels risky, but it's like, it's just because it's something that you're like, can this really happen? What are the odds? And it's going to happen. So detailed message from your spirits is, let's see what they have to say here for this. Success is yours. And look at that, a nice number 8. This is very karmic, you guys. Very karmic. This is very meant to be. This combination right here, you can't get better than this. Think about the number 8, because last year was an 8 year. So maybe there was something that was already brewing since last year. Okay, this is another way of looking at this, because this is a 9 year. So maybe perhaps you're already working on something right now. Or you're manifesting something right now, but you're not alone in this. There's some people that are joining, including your spirit guides, are completely supportive of this. But this has been destined all along. But success is yours. There's no doubt. 8 is a very karmic, like what goes around comes around. It's very infinity based. It means that you've put the work in, you've put this energy into it, and it's going to be yours, but you have to maintain it. You have to nurture it, whatever it is that you're asking for. Because see, some people ask for things and they're not quite ready for it. In this case, you are, or this card would have not shown up, my friends. Anytime I say the number 8, this is a very sacrificial feeling. It means that, there's been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, so to speak, to be in this position that you are in now. And it's going to take some effort. And again, some personal sacrifice, or it already has. Like, you've really given it your best shot here. And so you've either laid the groundwork for this last year, or you're right in the midst of it now. Okay, so your wish is going to be granted. So there's a lot of great good omens that come with this combination. This is about like your ability to adapt, to change. This is about really taking a stand for something that is meaningful for you. We are in the midst of Leo season. We just had this Leo new moon. So this is about like really saying, no, this is true. This is in my heart. This is what I want. Because Leo leads from the heart. Because remember, without the heart, the head means nothing. Your thoughts, like what goes off in your brain, means nothing if you're not in the center. And the center is your heart, right? So you are being divinely led, but this is something that's already been written. It's already been destined. Success is yours. Success, is yours. But it didn't come by easy, okay? So this is a win-win for everybody, because there's somebody either going to also be winning because they're joining with you. So it could be your partner, it could be a business partner, it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be your child even. But there's something huge that's happening here. And you took a risk, or you're about to, and it was worth it. It's going to be worth it. You're going to see. There's going to be some things that are happening this week that are really going to reveal that, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like, what are the odds of this, right? It's like everything just stops in that moment. And it's like you get the phone call, you get the email, you get the message, you get the yes, when you were really having this anxiety that it would be a no, or like the chance, what are the chances of this, right? But the truth of the matter is this was already written in your contract, and you felt led all along. You didn't know why, or you felt that it was coming deep in the subconscious. It was already there. And then so this is about everything kind of having texture, and it's like coming together the way that you had sensed or felt, again, all along, because it was destined. So congratulations on your success. People, places, and things, whatever your heart's desire, whatever you've been manifesting or calling to yourself, it's here. It's happening. So be ready for it, okay? And once you receive that blessing, be prepared to make the sacrifices to nurture it, to grow it, to keep the momentum going, because these things like that come in our laps, we have to take care of them. You know, take care of what you do have, so God, your angels, and your ancestors can give you more, okay? And that's what I got for those of you that chose pair number 3. As an additive to this message, before I go for pair number 3, I just want to say this. Pay attention to 8, like maybe going backwards, themes going back 8 days, 8 weeks, 8 months, or last August of 2024, excuse me, or going forwards into the month of August, or events leading, or themes, you know, discussions, events, experiences leading to August 8th. Just something else to think about. That's right before the full moon in Aquarius, my friends, okay? But regardless, pay attention to what's been in your heart, or the things that you've been thinking about, or things that mainly you've been praying for, something very specific, because your wish will be granted, and it is absolutely deserving and absolutely destined. I feel like you've tried something before, like many times. It feels very past life though, like we're repeating something, but I feel like you've tried something, like maybe you've been trying for love and been unsuccessful, or you've been trying to move and been unsuccessful, or you've been trying for that job, and just like it just nothing seems to be sticking or working out, and you're just like, ugh. And it's like you're making that one last cry for help, or that one last request, and going, okay, look, like I came, I saw, I conquered. Now what do you got for me? Because I don't know what else to do, but this is the one thing I've been trying for. Can't you see? Can't you see, as you're sending that message out there to heaven, can't you see that I've been aiming for this and I'm trying? So please, this is my last request. Like, I really want this. And I feel like wholeheartedly very deserving for those of you that chose pair number 3, and you will succeed, and your wish is granted. The divine council, your guides, angels, and ancestors are like, we got it. It's happening. So congratulations for those of you that chose pair number 3.